Okay, so today, I don't even know. At this point, it's not even like I'm upset or mad or anything. It is just, I just feel drained. I seriously just feel energetically drained. I got a long message this morning. I would really like to have a relationship with you, but since you can't stop talking about all your crazy beliefs, and I've set that boundary that you're not allowed to talk about those crazy beliefs to me. And since you've been talking about it for so long, and nothing has happened, then you just need to stop and take your crazy beliefs elsewhere. I've been talking about it so long. And it's finally happening. And then I'm just, I don't get it. I mean, it's actually happening. The stuff I said was going to happen. It is happening. But they don't see it. All they can see is I talk about it. It's like, I don't even know anymore. I heard somebody else today. They said, well, maybe the earth is just going to, we're going to go through this and it's going to wake some people up and then it'll just go back to normal. Only half the people will be, higher minded consciousness, while the other half will be living still in this other reality. That's not what's going on here. That is not what's going to happen. I mean, we are already living in a split reality. We see how well that works. That's not our future. We're not going to be living in this split reality in the future. This is the splitting. This is the splitting of the two earths. This is, you have to wake up and make a choice, or you just continue to stay and play out this, three-dimensional stuff till you wake up. At some point in, your existence, you will wake up to knowing that you are more than what you are told. But, if you're not ready yet, you're not ready yet. So, yeah, this is literally the splitting of this reality. Like, we're going into. So, like, you can imagine, like right now we're all on here and we have this split reality. We're seeing something and they're seeing something different. So as that, those things continue to divide, it will just pull out these two realities will become separate. The reality of the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, whatever, the higher minded reality, that's consciousness. And that is, that earth will go to that reality. The new earth, the earth that is going to be like the Garden of Eden, or, heaven on earth, all of that stuff. And the like-minded, Christ-minded is what I meant. Christ-minded people will be the ones who will inhabit it. It will be a totally different kind of life, a completely different kind of experience for souls. This one that is ending, like everything is collapsing in this system. That is why it's being exposed, so you can see. It's the people who don't want what they're selling. They are pushing it away. It's the people who claim their sovereignty from the system. So there's not a rebuilding of what we're losing. Like, this is the actual end of something. Just like when somebody dies, that's the end of them, of that experience for them. That's the end. That's what's happening here. It's the end of Earth as we knew it. It will never be the same. So yeah, if people want to sit here and think like it's the end of the world, you can, conceptualize it in that way if you want. But the whole thing is it's the end of that experience. Those paradigms are ending, and the ascension is happening for the other people who are ready to ascend. But all of the stuff that is here will be gone. You know, there will be other things that will come in their place, but it will be different. It's not going to be corporate owned. It's going to be individual people, you know. So somebody said something to me today about like, well, what about if, you know, the slave labor that was making our clothes? Well, what about if we just started paying them better prices, and couldn't they still make our clothes? I'm like, well, you know, if the earth switches and it goes into abundance for human beings, how many of them are going to want to go work for somebody and go do that, you know, for wages? Not that many people. Why would this person who has skills of making clothes, why wouldn't they just go in business for themselves and start making the clothes where you get a better product? You know, then you can see like the people who are making cloth, you know, that they would have people who are making clothes. Those people would buy the cloth from somebody who's actually making it with real, you know, good products. And then they sell it to this person who actually goes in, measures you, makes clothes that fit you, that you may pay some more for, but you're actually paying somebody for their workmanship. The money actually goes to them. It no longer goes to a business who says, well, we got to pay this, we got to pay that, we got to pay this and that and this, and we can only pay you this much. I mean, for the people who've been making our clothes, they haven't even been getting paid. Their payment is not to get beat that day, I think. So, yeah, things are completely, life will never be the same as it was. And another thing too, while they're taking down, you know, taking down Robert E. Lee today, while they were knocking down all the statues and stuff, that's always been on purpose. That is to end this history. So then like you can see the brainwashed people, they're oblivious. I mean, literally oblivious. When you're telling me that I've been talking about this for so long, yeah, it's all happening around you and you can't see it. That's an unawareness to life, to reality. Like, and you know, this is so frustrating. So, you know, the people have to wake up to see the reality. You know, I say this all the time, and I was going to say something else and just totally slipped out of my head. I'm having, like, the past few days has really been hard. Like, I can be talking to somebody, and what I'm talking just suddenly is just gone. And it's like, wait, what? I wasn't done. What? Oh, what was I going to say? Well, I'll just keep on talking. It'll come back. Anyways, so these people who are just, you know, oblivious, I don't know what is going to get them to have any awareness of what's going on, you know. But, oh, so the history. So, okay, so you see how brainwashed they are. You see how they're just so cut off, you know. So those people, when the real switch happens to our true history, like they do it it's like every 4 generations or something, they can make a complete change. It's in their documents and all their agendas and shit, all their studies and stuff they do. So they knock down all the statues. They convince these people that life is this other thing. Then they start going a certain way. Well, by the time their grandkids or great-grandkids are born, it's a completely different history. They're not told this stuff. They're not told what is happening, what we're doing. I mean, for all we know, this happens every 200 years, literally. Like, that is how much that this is an illusion and how much they lie. Like, there's so many people now who are out noticing, like, different cities that they said, oh, these cities were built during this period of time. And there was only like 100 people living there, and somehow they had sophisticated weapons and they were able to go and make all these elaborate buildings and all this stuff for who? And there's nobody living there. Why are they doing it? So, you know, once you start questioning the stuff and you start really realizing, you know, to the depth of the lies that are going on here and that there's a purpose. This isn't just about lies right now. This isn't just about mainstream media. Mainstream media is only a tentacle of the beast that is only a new tentacle. The misinformation, keep us distracted, the blatant lies. So that is a newer kind of thing that hasn't always, well, who knows? I mean, we could literally be circling back every 200 years to the exact same place for all we know. But that this is this stuff that they're doing, taking down the statues and stuff like that. It's not just to be like, oh, well, we're going to get rid of racism somehow. No, it's to change history. That's all they do, is change history to control the people. And I talk about this all the time, how many of these people are in my family, and I've got to just let it go. It's weird when you know in your heart and soul what you're here for. That I have known, the spiritual side of life has been awake to me my whole time. Like I said, they were talking to me when I was little. So I knew, I never questioned. I don't understand all these people who just question and that they can't break free from this system. And it's a shame. And there's going to be some shit that's going to go down in these people's lives to wake them up, that I thought somehow, I guess as the mom, I thought I could just wake them up by telling them and explaining it to them, but you can't. They can't see it. They can't hear what I'm saying. They don't understand what I'm saying. It's just like I'm speaking a completely different language. And I irritate them. It's like I think I start talking and right away they just cringe, like they want to just stab their ears. They don't want to hear anything I have to say. And that's hard. It's really hard. And it is something that I have to really consider a lot because I know what my purpose is. And, I have to look at like, why would my purpose be this one thing? And I'm fighting against so much opposition to do that one thing. And that is like, when I say I'm a lone wolf, I'm not kidding. I'm very much like, a lone wolf in the forest with a pack of wild wolves all around. And it's like, I need to stay as a lone wolf, I guess. Because I don't understand this. I don't understand how people perceive life. I don't understand how they perceive their existence. It's, I don't know. It really messes with my head. But, to think like I'm doing everything I can to spread the message, to wake people up and stuff like that. And I don't want to watch my kids die, or my grandkids. I don't want to see that, and I don't want to experience that. Who does? I'd much rather be the one who died, So, I don't know. But, the only hope that, you can really hold on is that the other earth, the new earth, let's say, to some people this would sound like a complete fairy tale, but in the new earth, so when the earth splits, if that's how it's really going to go down, we see it splitting right before our eyes. So, it could come back together and then just all go, but I don't know. I've seen it so many times over the past few years, this whole concept about the earth splitting. You go back and you read ancient texts and stuff like that, and a biblical text and stuff. So it all is basically saying the same thing. But, when it goes and the higher-minded conscious beings that are inhabiting that planet in their light bodies, which that's the part that always gets me, because to me a light body is a dead body. I say that all the time. So I don't really know, because I know that is just our regular body outside of being in an avatar in a experience, you know, is your light body. So if we're in our light bodies, to me, we've passed out of this reality, which we know that that's happening anyways. We're passing out of this reality. So we do have to have a different spacesuit. And, but the thing is like when you are in that, what you would consider, like I always say, dead life is our real life. So when we go into that reality, then when these people who are in the other one, when they are dying and stuff, they supposedly will have that opportunity to go into the new one. But, you know, when you start getting down to this whole reincarnation cycle thing, I keep hearing about it still. I heard more about it yesterday too, where something about, you know, when the people die, they just get pressure put on them, you know, and get told, you know, you need to go back there, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's enslavement. So I could see why a lot of people feel, you know, punished for being here, because some of them probably were. You know, that's not really how, that right there should show you how important it is as a soul to claim your sovereignty away from this system, to pull out of this, you know, factory. It's like a human factory of enslavement here. So to recognize and pull away from that system is, you know, super important, because like I've said, I mean, it changes everything in your whole reincarnation cycle. You know, and I can't get all upset about it. I can't stress out about it. I can't wake people up who aren't ready. And, you know, some people, like, no matter how horrible this, that we're watching what this new future is here, and it's freaking horrible. I mean, it is horrible. You know, but if you're not awake and you're just gonna, you know, walk right in, then I guess they have to learn it the hard way. You know, and that's apparently, you know, that is, you know, that's really how you learn stuff, is the hard way. You know, not a lot of people learn just from somebody telling them. We can share stories, and it can plant seeds, and it can help us comprehend things in a more, you know, a more complex or more vast, or, you know, a higher perspective, you know, more, like to be able to see more. You know, everybody's so narrow-minded. They only see it the way they see it. They don't understand that everybody sees it differently. So, I don't know. You know, all we can do is just, for those of us who are awake, is, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I seriously don't know. You know, because it is like, if you are just watching, you get all caught up in it, and it just makes you feel hopeless and helpless and sad, and that's what they want. So, you know, you need to not, but you also have to know what the hell is going on. And, you know, so it's very complicated, you know, but the thing that gets me is all the people who need to know the most aren't even paying attention. They are so deep in mind control that they have no clue what's going on. So, you know, I don't know. I know that there's some big stuff that's about to go down. And, you know, I've said all along, something big's going to happen. Light switch is going to go on. And these people are all going to see that they're standing in the mouth of the beast. So I'm still thinking that that's going to go on, and a lot more people are going to wake up, that it's not going to be so, you know, that a lot of the people who are awake right now, that they're going to be woke up. And the waking of some of these people is what's going to really put stuff over the edge, like where we're going to start seeing mass suicide and all of that stuff. So, you know, but this is all of just, you know, we all have to have faith. We all have to trust. We all have to know that we're eternal beings. This is souls here learning, having experiences is a huge thing. This ascension doesn't happen like all the time. This is, you know, just look it up. Read in the Book of One about the harvest. There's a lot of other texts in older religions and stuff like that that talk about what is going on. and the ascension, the harvesting and stuff. So, you know, that is happening, and it's not an often time occurrence. So this is really big. I mean, we have so much big stuff happening on the planet right now. So, you know, it's super important to stay centered, to stay focused on yourself, focus on your health. Oh my gosh, focus on your health. Do not try whatever you can do to stay away from doctors and hospitals. I mean, right now we've got all of the ones walking off. Those are the ones with integrity. These ones that are left behind, who knows what goes on in their head. They're not safe. You are not safe to go and see any of these people. And if you get sick, just remember, you know, you used to be able to treat your sickness. You used to not run to the hospital or a doctor or need a test to tell you. You just would get sick, you took care of yourself, and you got better. Go back to that idea. And if something is going to take you out, it was meant to take you out. There is no hiding from death behind these. And, you know, all people are doing is out of fear, creating a phobia, giving all of their health needs and all of surrendering to the deep state. Oh, here, just go ahead and take it. So, yeah, people have got to seriously just, it's just, I say it all the time, start questioning things, start looking at things in a broader way, start listening to people who you don't listen to usually, you know, start getting more information in your head, not trying to keep everything out of it. Like, oh my God, I don't understand. I just don't understand. So anyways, yeah, I don't even know. I'm going to try and find some movie or something to watch today to try and, you know, and make sure you have some food. And it's not about, I mean, I said it yesterday too. Like some of these people, you know, have got just, you know, basements full, trailers full, and food all over the place. They will eventually be targeted. You know, that's the whole problem that we've had on this earth for so long, is people that are always taking more for themselves. And yeah, they were prepared and stuff, but the people who are not prepared, those people will be targeted. So, you know, to me, it has been about trying to really think about, what does my body need for energy? Like most cases, it doesn't need your three feeding times, you know, and usually there's feeding times in between. You don't need that much to survive. And but you do need to focus on your health. You do need to focus on taking care of yourself. So yeah, you don't need to have like, oh, well, you know, gotta have 3 square meals every day, you know, once the shit goes down, because there's already food being emptied off the shelves. There's already a food shortage. It's already happening. Which, by the way, on TikTok, there's a lot more tanks and stuff everywhere. Like, everybody needs to be prepared. Like, shit's about to really get real. So, yeah, with the food thing, just remember, you know, you don't need as much. That's part of the phobia. That's part of the panic. That's part of the like, oh my God, I'm not gonna have food. What am I gonna do? You know, you can live off crackers and stuff. Like, keep going back in your head of human beings that did not live like how we're living. They had to live and struggle. They had to survive and stuff in a different way. They didn't have all this abundance of meals. Just, you know, they didn't have to, they had to go out and work for their food. They had to go out and hunt their food, gather their food, forage, you know, work to eat. Now people just, they work to get someone else rich, and then they go buy food that someone else is creating, preparing, you know, whatever. The whole thing is, you know, it's all backwards. But you got to go back and think about, like, you know, your grandparents or your great grandparents or whatever, and you know, think about back during the Depression. I mean, people lived off of drinking. I heard somebody the other day, oh, they make water pie. I think it's just flour and water and then cook it. You know, and they lived off potatoes for a year at least. So just remember, there's lots of poor people who live off a small amount of food. So when these food shortages start happening, don't panic. You can live off of a smaller amount of food. So, think about foods that you can get that are good for, good, like to me, it was the protein stuff, like some tuna, some beans, and then crackers, because crackers kind of fill your stomach up and stuff. Consider stuff like that. Like I know that a lot of people have those big buckets of, freeze-dried meals that can last a year or whatever. And that's probably a super smart thing, because you can just make them last. And I know there's a lot of people who have whole families are trying to get enough food for. I mean, they're already shorting on the dog food and stuff. So I heard a really horrible thing the other day, and it was something about, yeah, well, we'll see. Oh, it was on those Indian things, and it said those people will soon be eating their golden retrievers or something. I was like, oh my God. I mean, yeah, that's some desperate stuff to me. I feel like I'm way more of like, I could live, I would not eat my pets. I will not eat bugs, or I'm not going to steal anybody's food. I may be pretty skinny, but I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff, I feel like, you can live off of a few crackers and some water for quite a while. So, yeah, I don't know. And luckily for me, too, well, who knows how long it will go, I'm sure. But we have this pipe that sticks out on the way to the lake. It's like well water, I guess. It just comes right out of the thing. It's been tested and stuff, and it's really fresh water. And it just runs all the time. So people just go up and they fill their things. I've seen people fill giant holding tanks there and stuff. So, there's water over there. But like if everybody's going over there to get it, I don't know, it won't be there for long. But there's lakes nearby. You can go and get water and boil it, There's all sorts of things on YouTube and stuff that tells you how to filter, how to make filters so that you can filter water if you have to get it. So, just start really thinking about survival. How do you survive? Yeah, you don't survive on having like, oh, we're going to have a sit-down meal today. No, we're going into having to survive. When I was talking about you need to be able to, be in the kind of shape you can at least run for your life, I wasn't joking around, so, we're here now. Like, shit is going down. It's going down all around us. I don't understand how there's still so many people who think like life is regular and we're going to go back to regular once this is over. No, this is the end of all of that. That life is over. That life will never go back to. You're either going to go to something really horrible and become a synthetic AI person. I mean, they're already talking about they're going to put the chips in. When they put that in with the towers that they have, for any of the people who are going to go on for the 3D, when they put those in, that's your first thing towards transhumanism. This will override you. Most people have already done them a favor anyways. They've blocked their soul down into a little, they've encased it to protect it. So when they put that in, in their system, they can just override it. And the same thing they're going to do to the Chinese soldiers is just blow their heads off. I told you. I saw that they had already disclosed that in the movies, what they're going to do. When somebody, it was, I can't remember what movie it was, but the implants that they had, when the people would try and get away, they would just blow them up. And that's what they're going to do with these soldiers. That's what they're headed for us. Anything they've done in China, that's a template of what they're going to do for the rest of the world. So it's not going to be ever what it was before. It's only going to be where you're moving into being somebody's slave beyond, you don't even get to have a human body at a certain point. Westworld just showed it all, what their plan is. Westworld, those consciousness were waking up in their synthetic bodies. And who knows how long it will take these people to do that. So, you know, there's not a good thing for the 3D. Yeah, to me, ascension is the way to go, and it changes your whole thing for your reincarnation cycles. You know, it's a total graduation. So, I don't know. I'm going for the graduation. So, I'll talk to you later. Bye.